Ellen DeGeneres Claps Back, Tana Mongeau exposes David Dobrik, plus NASA provides proof of life on Mars. All of that and a lot more, but first, if you could do us a big favor and please tap that like button, we would really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's begin the InformOverload weekly roundup. So first things first, let's talk about this Ellen DeGeneres Clapback. After making the announcement that her show would be coming to an end in 2022, Ellen insisted that it was not because of the negative articles surrounding her last summer. During an interview that she did with NBC's Savannah Guthrie, Ellen spoke more about her decision to walk away from the show. As I mentioned, she insisted that she did not stop the show due to the claims of a toxic workplace. However, when asked by Guthrie if Ellen felt like she had been cancelled, DeGeneres tried to suggest that it was a planned attack of some kind. On the show, she said, "I really didn't understand it. I still don't understand it. It was too orchestrated. It was too coordinated," adding, "I don't know how I could have known when there's 255 employees here and there's a lot of different buildings, unless I literally stayed here until that last person went home at night. It is my name on the show, so clearly it affects me and I have to be the one to stand up and say this can't be tolerated. But I do wish someone would have come to me and said, hey, something's going on that you should know about." Ellen also said that the negative coverage of her felt very misogynistic, and then she tried to equate it to the backlash that she experienced when she came out in 1997. I'm sure the amount of negative attention felt very similar, but those two are very different things. Regardless, I want to hear what you guys think about this in the chat right now, and while you do that, let's send it over to Jared for some sports and science.
Thanks, Johnny. What's happening? It's your boy. Give me some of those fire. The boom, boom. I want some fire. It's Mr. Spicy, baby. You know we're talking about some sports and some science, baby. Let's go. Woo! I had to keep it down. Like, my parents are actually gonna kick me out. They're getting so sick of this. So starting us off, the king is back, baby. Love him or hate him, Conor McGregor has proven time and time again there's a reason he's the best. Whether it's the trash talking or the fighting, even when he loses, it seems McGregor is still finding ways to win. After dominating the UFC, McGregor would challenge boxing legend Floyd Mayweather to a boxing match in which it was rumored they both made a minimum of around $100 million, with Floyd making closer to $300 million. So they say, who knows really. Upon return to the UFC, McGregor would lose to Khabib, take some time off, come back, beat Cowboy, and then lose to Poirier. Now with the third fight against Poirier on the way, just months away, some were questioning Conor's future in the UFC and fighting in general, while others were unsure if he still had that star power. Well, given that he was named 2021's highest paid athlete, I think we have our answer. Forbes reports that in total, McGregor has pocketed $180 million total in the last 12 months, placing him first on their list of highest paid athletes. It's his second year in the top 10, but first time at number 1. The placing puts him ahead of all-time greats such as Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and LeBron James, all who have made over $100 million as well. That must be nice. Forbes claims of McGregor's $180 million year, $158 million was made outside of the octagon through endorsements and such, including his stake in Proper 12 whiskey, which it's rumored he sold his majority stake for up to $600 million. But now, hey, sorry you're in a meeting, Mom, but it's too bad we're talking about science, baby. Let's go. Woo! I'm all jacked up now. NASA has proven life is on Mars. Boom. Mic drop. How you like me now, skeptics? That's what I call some science. Okay, they actually didn't. Actually, if anything, it seems they're trying to disprove the theory presented to them by a trio of researchers and scientists. Scientists! It just doesn't hit the same as science, I guess. Dr. Juan Gabriel Joseph, who is known to be a controversial scientist, will say, microbiologist Dr. Jinli Wei from the Chinese Academy of Sciences and astrophysicist Dr. Rudolf Stield from Harvard Smithsonian believe they made a breakthrough proving life on Mars. Going back to their whole breakthrough, NASA isn't so sure it's legit. Story here is that these three have been studying NASA's images from Mars and believe what NASA claimed to be rocks is actually fungus, and that could be evidence that life on Mars is possible. Science, baby, let's go! The group claims that the fungus, which appears to be similar to that of puffballs, appeared and disappeared over the course of days, weeks, and months. They even claimed new sprouts appeared where NASA's rover had left marks. Science! However, NASA rejected all their claims, saying that what they saw were simply space rocks. And it doesn't help that Dr. Joseph, who is known as the Space Tiger King, made headlines in 2014 suing NASA, demanding they examine, I quote, a putative biological organism, which he saw from a rover's photo, which also turned out to be a rock. Oh boy. The group pointed to the imaging showing little dots disappearing in the winter and coming back, growing as large as 980 feet in the springtime when the weather is warmer. This led to the trio to believe this was a potential sign of black fungi, mold, algae, or who knows what else. NASA claimed it was simply the thawing of seasonal carbon dioxide ice. That being said, the group admitted in their study, I quote, the question of if there is or was life on Mars is extremely controversial. Even those favoring biology have not yet claimed to have found definitive proof. It is well established that a variety of terrestrial terrestrial organisms survive Mars-like conditions. Given the likelihood Earth has been seeding Mars with life, and life has been repeatedly transferred between worlds, it would be surprising if there was no life. However, in contrast to terrestrial organisms, Martian fungi, lichens, molds, algae, and other putative life forms would have evolved on and already be adapted to low temperatures. So in a nutshell, they aren't saying it's proof of life on Mars, but there is some potential and more people should look into it. Science, baby, let's go, I love it. All right, now back to Johnny.
Thanks for those updates, Jared. Now let's move on to some feel-good news, shall we? Today, our feel-good news story is all about hard work and perseverance. Wanda Smith always wanted to be a teacher, but unfortunately, some of life's limitations put that dream on hold. While working as a bus monitor and custodian for the Brenham Independent School District in Texas, Wanda began taking night classes. And with the support and encouragement of her husband, she would eventually graduate with a bachelor's degree from Sam Houston State University. After 9 years of working in this school district, her story had finally come full circle because she was actually hired to work as a first grade teacher for Brenham Elementary School. Not only that, but the mayor of Brenham, Milton Tate Jr., also declared May 4th as Wanda Smith Day. I mean, what an absolute inspiration that shows if you strive to be the best you can be, you really can achieve great things. With that though, let's enter over to the Spill Zone with Mackenzie.
Thanks, Johnny. Today on the Spill Zone, we're going to be talking about Tana Mongeau and David Dobrik, former BFFs that seem to have drifted apart. If you thought the controversy surrounding David Dobrik was over, Tana Mongeau's here to remind you that it's not. If you remember back before David had his major cancellation, Trisha Paytas brought up how her relationship with the Vlog Squad and Jason Nash ended because of an uncomfortable joke the squad would make over and over about Tana having a threesome with Trisha and Jason. Obviously, this is disgusting on many levels, but mostly because at that time, Tana was only a teenager, while Trisha and Jason were in their 30s and 40s. Tana has been hinting for a few months now that she endured a lot of trauma because she hung around so many adults as a teenager, namely Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, and of course, Jason Nash. Trisha Paytas recently posted a TikTok referencing all of this, making a disturbed face while talking about how Jason, her 44-year-old boyfriend at the time, wanted Trisha to have a threesome with an year-old, aka Tana. Tana actually commented on that TikTok saying, quote, "Tag yourself. I'm the 19-year-old who's now in therapy and trying to stay out of drama." Basically hinting here that she's in therapy because of this uncomfortable bit that David and Jason referenced countless times over the years. The first time David brought it up in one of his vlogs, Jason said, quote, "If you can get Tana Mongeau to have a with me and Trisha, I'll buy you a Ferrari." In another vlog, Tana asked Jason why he wanted to sleep with her so bad. Jason replied, quote, "Because he likes broken girls." This comment from Tana is not the only time that she's spoken out against all this. She tweeted out in March calling out all the older men that tried to get with her while she was only a teen, saying there was clearly something wrong with them. She also made her own TikTok in April saying that all the time she hung out with male influencers double her age has affected her mentally. As of now, that's all there is to say, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tana does some exposing of these people very soon, because she clearly has some stories that she wants to share. Now back over to Johnny for the comments.
Thanks so much for those updates, Mackenzie. Well, folks, that has been today's show, but before we get out of here, let's check out some of your comments from our last weekly roundup. Sierra Banks says, "Science, baby, is my favorite part of this entire episode." Oh, and it's ours too. We're so happy that Jared came up with that. Honey Bunch says, "Donating her kidney, what a wonderful lady. What a wonderful lady indeed, and we're so happy that we could, really share that story with the Feel Good News section." And Dora the Witch Writer says, "I can't say science now without yelling science." Don't worry, we can't either. Jessica Lee says, "The stack of books on the left side of the B-ball are triggering me. They are uneven, weird, I know, whereas the stack on the right is nice and neat. LOL, I can't be the only one who has noticed that." Don't worry, fix the books. I noticed. I only kind of pulled it out like a bookshelf, not like a bookshelf, like a staircase, if you will, to prop up the basketball, but then I realized it didn't need that, so it looks better like that. So thanks for your comment. Jamie Artonio says, "I feel like this is better than the news. I'm at least more entertained." Well, amazing. That means we're doing our job, because we take the news and then make it more entertaining. But for now, that has been today's show, guys. Big thanks to Jared Bronstein, Mackenzie Smith, and our editing god, Danielle, for all of her hard work. I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy, YouTube. Or at least try. Hey, it's a weekly roundup. And look, I got a new chair. It's less squeaky. Still squeaky, but less. I'm actually wearing just pajamas. But first, hydration.
Why does the battery always, it just started blinking right as I hit record? I don't get it every time. Okay, this is just, I'm taking a breather here. Daniela, could I just say, you gotta be impressed. I just fucking nailed that whole script. I'm impressed. I did not fuck up once. That was a straight through.
Oh my god, he on X Games mode.
In my head, I was like, am I gonna do it? Am I gonna do it? It's like when a goalie's about to get a shutout and it's like the final minute and then like you're thinking like, I don't wanna. So yeah, I just wanted to say, I was proud of that one. That was a good run there. Let's see if I could do it with some science, baby.
Thanks for those updates, Jared. Now let's move on.
All right. Call me Matthew McConaughey. Jason said, quote, if you can get Tana Mongeau, Mongeau, oh my god. I literally know how to say her name and I still said Mongeau.